There. So we're out underneath the house, out where it's raining and we are dry. And I wanted to add to your repertoire of leash work options. So in yesterday's series of videos, I was talking about how we layer, how we do the with me exercise on long distance leashes and varying lengths of leashes. And then I added that circle exercise, which was a struggle for Raven yesterday on her first time. And then after doing the circle, I did some short distance with me. I'm about to do some circling so you can see how much better she's doing just because she's getting acclimated to the feel of it, but also because we got her a different harness, so that I'm hoping will help a bit. It's a little less stretchy. And then what I'm going to do is add another layer, another option for a layer to the circle exercise. So when you first get home and start really dedicating some time to the leash, which is going to take longer than everything else, I want you to try to do all of these a little bit and then start picking and choosing what you think is most useful to you, which may be the full menu, but you'll start to get a feel for it. So let me tilt so you can see the different harness, how that makes a bit of a difference, as well as just the familiarity with the exercise. So, as usual, there are crumbs and treats all around, so you're going to see Raven sniffing and exploring and doing all that. And what I want you to pay attention to is my reaction to it, which is pretty much no reaction. I will give her encouraging chit-chat from time to time, but mostly I'm going to move her physically, just keep her moving. So I start in the left hand. Again, we want the leash to be just long enough to reach her on the ground. No longer. We don't want it to be a loose leash, not tight, but not flapping. Okay, so here we go. And I am just holding my hand that has the leash against my hip or my thigh, wherever it happens to go. And remember now, the circle is all about creating leash pressure. So what I'm finding is that Raven gets better at it as we practice, which is to be expected, but I think also this harness gives her a little bit more stability. Yeah, she's a good girl. And then we switch to the right hand, same activity. Notice where my hand is. Let's go, baby. Good girl. And you can even start to say, with me, so you're layering the word, with me. So she's distracted, I just give her a little tug. With me, Raven, good girl, with me. With me, good. We want for her to experience these distractions because that's what she experiences on a leash. So take that as a learning opportunity. With me? Yes. Yes. Come on. So a dog is going by out on the street, off camera. With me. Now she's putting the brakes on. Now she's just being bullheaded. With me. So when she decides to be bullheaded, remember, we do not turn and face her. If we turn and face her and address her with conversation, it emboldens her. With me. So I just kept on moving. With me. With me, Raven. There she goes again, putting the brakes on. With me. With me. Yes, good girl, good girl. When I feel the leash loosen up a little bit, that she's not pulling, then I'll tell her, good girl. There she goes. See, she's stubborn. With me. So the beauty of this harness is that it's easier to make her move along with you. Now, she stops. When we're done, she must be next to me. Must be. Look, conking out. But we always stop the exercise with her coming to your side. Always. Now I'm going to pause it and show you something you can layer onto it. Okay, so here is your next layer. Forgive the lighting. The weather is not my friend today. So you see these three poles here that I happen to have the benefit of. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. What I'm going to be doing is very simple: weaving Raven in and out of them and then turning around. And the reason that I'm doing that, you could pick any 3, 4, 5. You can do is anything that you can create. Chairs, if you wanted to put chairs up, or any kind of obstacle that you can weave around. It isn't about the dog, it's about the human having a course to follow. So the weaving, what it does is it requires us, let me back up. When we're weaving, it requires us to turn this way. She's on the outside of us. And then you're sort of doing a figure 8, so then she ends up on the inside. So you're putting pressure with your body on her. Let's just go ahead and show you. She has not done this yet. This is her first time. So I happen to have her in my right hand for no particular reason. You could do either hand, and you should switch hands. Let's go, Raven. So I go around. She's on my outside, getting leash pressure. Then I come in here, and she feels the pressure of me stepping toward her. She's coming around, and I'm pulling her with leash pressure. Pulling her with leash pressure. And now I have to take a right, so I'm walking into her. And then back around. Let's go. So this is really challenging for her. Let's go, baby. Good girl. Good girl. And then this way. Yes. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Yes. Let's go, baby. Good. So the weaving, you can see, forgive the darkness, you can see that she's slowing down on me. That's fine. She's never done it before. She doesn't know what's going on. But what's important here is that imagine that she is right here to my right. When I start to turn left, she gets a pull on the leash. But if she's on my right-hand side, if I turn right, she gets pressure from my body. So she's going from leash pressure to physical body pressure. And those two things are very important when you're getting a dog acclimated to really strong leash skills. So you can do that, or let's see if we can, or you can do figure 8s like so. She's getting really tired of this. I'll put her on my left this time. So we can do a figure 8. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Circle around, making our 8. And then she's getting physical pressure from me because I'm walking toward her. Yes. She's getting outside leash pressure as I swing her around. Let's go, baby. Let's go. And now she's getting physical pressure from me as I walk toward her. So at her age, not uncommon that when I move toward her, when I turn into her, she tends to back up or she might sit down. That's fine. She's a baby. She doesn't know what all of it means yet. But the more you get her used to that, come here, baby. Like even just right here, I'll just keep turning. You can see her backing up and confused, so I steer her with the leash. I'm like, you're staying with me. You're staying with me. Yes. Good girl. And then back this way. So those two kinds of pressure, turning into her, body pressure, turning away from her, leash pressure. So you can just simply go out and do figure 8s. I love a good weaving exercise. And you can do these things inside or outside. On a patio, out in a parking lot, any place. So the idea is you want to mix and match all of these things because it starts building her comfort level with the movement of your body and the tether of the leash. Okay, we'll talk soon.